Hi guys. So I wanted to do a review on these Faber Castell metallic colored pencils. There's 12 in a pack here, and I had picked these up when there was the 80% clearance at Hobby Lobby, and haven't used them yet. I've played with them a little bit as far as swatching them out, but wanted to do a demo. And what I've used, supposedly they have outstanding effects on dark paper. Add highlights by coloring over areas with silver pencil. Break resistance. Leads will not fall out. I will say that they are break resistant for sure. I've sharpened them and used this electric sharpener, and they sharpen well. They do not have names on the pencils themselves, so they have numbers, but the numbers don't really mean anything to me. You get, in this set of 12, you get like a dark and light of each color, it seems like. So I've got a silver and then a darker silver. I've got a purple and like a dark purple and kind of a pinkish purple here. We've got 2 shades of a blue, and let's see, 2 shades of a green, so one darker, one lighter. We've got another shade of purple, like a lavender color. We've got these 3, which this is a gold, this is more of a copper, and this is more of a bronzy color. So they're pretty colors. I find that the smoother the paper, the lighter that these show up. They're not as vibrant. So what I have here is this Master's Touch paper pad in black. It's very nice dark paper. And I've swatched these out. And here they are, and they're not, I don't find them very vibrant. And if you compare this to the picture, I mean, obviously, the picture shows as they're super, super vibrant on here, and they're not. So, what I've done is I have this swatch, which is on the same paper, but I have put a layer of clear gesso, which gives it some texture. So this is just Liquitex clear gesso. I've brushed it on a thin coat and brushed it quite a bit to get the brush marks. I had to, it leaves brush marks. If you use a paintbrush, you can kind of see the brush strokes in the clear gesso, even though it dries clear. And then also it leaves like a little shinier finish on the paper, at least on this. And so here's the comparison between the non-gessoed paper and then what they look like on the gessoed paper. So you can see a difference there, pretty big difference between the two. And then I've just played around with the different colors and blending, and it's kind of a moon here, and here I played around just doing sort of a galaxy type thing. I had to press quite hard to get even this bright. Here I did not have to press very hard at all, but the paper has tooth now with the gesso on it. So I'm going to I'm going to say quick demo, but it may not be, because colored pencil is not a quick medium. Let's see what I got here. I gessoed a page already. Now I gotta find it. Where are you at? Okay. So here I have gessoed this page, and I have done just taken a little lid and did a little circle, and I'm only going to use, I'm just playing around, and I'm going to do a moon, like a night scene, because I think that would be the best use for these on dark paper. So I am going to use the 2 blues and the darkest purple. excuse me, and the 2 silvers. And I know that's awful dark. It's actually, the paper looks darker than it really is, and it was really hard. I tried to film this a couple of times, and the lighting, I don't care what I do with the lighting, it either turns out too dark, it's too shiny, you can't see very well. So this is the best I could do, unfortunately. And let me get, I need to find a reference photo just to kind of help me out here. So let me go. I had one up. I should have did this before I started. So let's see. Where are you at? All right. So just went on pixabay.com. I'm just gonna pick one. Here's a nice picture of a moon here, and I'm just going to use it just for a reference, a rough reference. And it looks like we've got some blue. I may have to swatch the blues again because, all right, so this one is actually the darker blue, I believe, and this one, nope, this one's the darker. It's more of a purplish. So I'm going to use the lighter one right now. So I'm going to start with the outside. I go around the outside of the moon. And I'm going to lightly, and there, you don't have to use a lot of pressure on this now because of the tooth, like I said. So I'm very, very lightly going around the circle, the outside of the circle, because there's a little glow around the moon, and I'm not going right up against the line, the outline that I have of the circle. I'm going just to the outside because it looks like there's just a little bit of a black space in between the sky and the moon itself. And if I don't talk very much during this, you know I'm in deep concentration. So you can kind of see my pencils, my little circular strokes here, which show up more, and actually this looks brighter on the camera than it does in person. It's actually a nice subtle effect, whereas on camera it looks pretty intense. Well, looks similar to soft pastels actually on camera. And I'm very light hand here, and I'm just doing circular motions. And I'm just going to vary the pressure in random areas to make it look, you know, more like there's clouds. So the more pressure I have in some areas, the more intense this blue is going to be, and it's going to look like clouds. Now the further I get out away from the moon, the even lighter I am pressing on this page. So it's going to be darker the farther away that we get from the moon. So here I'm just randomly pressing a little bit harder, circular motion, give kind of a cloud-like effect around, like a misty, foggy effect. leaving more of the dark space right here. So I'll continue to go around in this manner. So here I'm going farther out, farther away, just adding just a little bit of color. And I mean like really very, very, very light circular strokes. I may go in with the darker one. Let's see. Yeah, here's the darker one. So this is the darker blue I'm using just to go farther out. You can barely see that. You can actually see it better than I can in person. So I'm going to continue around, and when I'm finished going around, I'll be back and we'll do the inside of the moon. Okay, so I'm still going around the moon with the lighter blue. I was going to complete this and then come back, but I thought maybe you guys might want to see this process in more detail. So I'm just turning my paper and going around this circle, and now I'm just using the edge of the lead because it seems to be faster. So I'm very lightly still just in a circular motion. And I will say that when you do this, you're going to go through lead a lot quicker because of the roughness of the paper. It's kind of feels like a very fine sandpaper. It's looking really, really good, and I've only used 2 colors so far. So the lighter right up against right along the outside edge of that circle. Then as I go farther out, I'm decreasing pressure even more so that it fades. And then I can also go back in with this darker blue using the side of the pencil and kind of blend up against here. Since this is darker, now we have like a very slight variation of blue here. And it makes sense if you think about it. What's closer to the light source is going to be lighter than when you get farther away. So now I'm just here. So I'll put more pressure where I want it even more intense to just make it look like that there are some very light little bits of cloud around the moon here. Just little cloudy areas. And this doesn't look as scribbly in person. It's just this lighting. It actually looks a lot smoother, which I said before. It's not filming very well, even though it looks pretty good. It's really not as intense as it looks on camera here. So I'm still using the lighter blue. And it's awful shiny. Not in person, but it is awful shiny here with this because of how I've got the lighting. I really need to figure out how to do this better. But I think black is just really difficult to film anyway. So now I'm just going farther out, away from the moon. So I'm doing even less pressure. Going around. I may do a little bit more pressure right here so that looks like I've got some more cloud around here. Let me take my darker pencil and just come up against that. Blend. Nice and blue and pretty. And I hope this scraping noise is not bothering you. But there's a lot, it's very abrasive. I'm kind of watching the camera and the paper at the same time as I can see that it's really intense here. I think I'm going to go back up here. Make that a little bit more intense here. So adding just a little more pressure here. Let me get my darker blue. Kind of blend that in with the black background. Let's go back around. Circular. And then it just kind of fades to like complete black really once we get so far out. So lighter hand here, more firm hand up here. Using just the edge. I think I might do a little bit more firm out here just because there's some white clouds a little further out here. Let's add a little bit more intensity out here. And these streaks you see here, that is the gesso. I'm thinking that I need to get some sandpaper and sand that down. And let me get my darker blue. I'm just being really, not real careful with it now, because I mean, it's so dark that you're not going to see all those little strokes. And you want like gaps, I guess, because you want that black the farther out you go, because it's, I mean, this is almost complete blackness here. I guess if no, my reference photo does not have stars. We could add stars. Let me go back to this, change it. Let's see, I'll add a little more intensity here. More brightness around, but not quite right up against this, my sketch mark here. I guess this would be easier in soft pastel, huh? I thought about putting silver here to intensify the clouds, but I don't know. There's no silver in this. I was going to use that for the moon. We'll see. We'll see what happens. How about, you can see every wrinkle in that just because of the lighting, guys. It really doesn't look that bad. So now I've got my purple, and you may not see this at all, but add some purple. All along the outside edge. And we can just leave the rest of that black here. I don't think there's much purple there. This is my darker blue. I can't tell. Yes. It's my darker blue. Adding more pressure here to, again, intensify my glow. I'm really liking how this is turning out. Okay, well, let me get back in here to this. See this a little bit more here. This is pretty neat. It's pretty metallic and glittery and shiny, which you can't really see that, unfortunately. It looks very similar on camera to pastel, soft pastel, but it really doesn't. You can actually see on camera a lot better the purple, the variation in color there. So there's that. My hands feel gritty. Let's do a little bit more of the darker blue. Is this the darker blue? I can't tell by the... Yes, this is the more darker purplish kind of blue here, even though the color on the pencil just does not look like that. So take the darker and kind of move it up closer to the lighter to blend. Do a smooth transition between the black and the blue. Going further out. Okay. Going up against there a little bit more closely around the circle. Now, the darker blue, I think I'm going to use the darker blue for, no, let's wait, let's hold up on that. get this, clean that up a little bit. Okay. Sorry if it was my hair in the way, probably. Okay. I think I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to use a white. I'm going to use a white colored pencil and lightly go around the edge, because I don't think the silver is white enough. It's not white at all. I just lost my image. Where'd my image go? There it went. So, I'm going to just take a white, this is the white colored pencil. I don't know what this is. I have Prismacolor, and then I've got another set that I had hauled in a video, and it was a cheap set, but it's professional, and I really like them. I got them from Ollie's for like $2.99, I think, for a set, and they're really nice. And this is it. I just don't remember what the brand is. All right, so we've got that, and I still feel like I need to sharpen up that. Maybe right there. Now I'm getting really picky here. Okay. So now I'm going to take my lighter silver and I'm just going to color him in just very lightly. Just the lightest, I mean seriously, lightest touch. I'm going to leave some, like, I'm not going to fill this in solidly. I'm going to leave like some areas for like the craters. So I'm just going in a circular motion and using the edge of the pencil. These are very sharpened. The outside edge of the moon is going to be brighter. And then we have that nice dark gap in between. I don't know how all these craters are, where they're all located. We won't be too, I'm just gonna leave, I don't want to be too precise here, or I'll be all day. We don't want to be all day. So I'm just leaving little bits here and there. Oh wait, I've got him upside down because, okay. Because most of this, okay. So right here is mostly white. Then we've got a lot of crater dark shapes right here, right around there, and also over here. This is not supposed to be super accurate, but hey. Okay. So this side is filled in more with it's more solid, I should say. This side here still using a very light hand. And it looks blue to me, these little craters. Should I use the darker blue? And which one is the darker blue? Because I cannot remember. All right, it's that one or that one. It is this one. Sharpen it. Okay. So, got a crater right here. Got some around here. Some right here. I'm using a little bit more pressure here since I'm going over top of the silver. There, I lost it again. Okay. Got some darker areas right in here. I don't know if I just lost you. My computer just went to sleep, sorry. Where was I at? Okay. So right now we're just going over very lightly with some other color. Just kind of randomly, really, or just approximately. Now let's go into the lighter blue. Go inside. Maybe color with the lighter blue a little bit inside where I did the darker blue. Alright, so I wish you guys could really see this in person because it is super sparkly. It's very glittery and sparkly, and the transition between the colors are really soft and smooth, more so than what you can see here, but it's looking really good. So there's a lot of blue in the craters, and let's see, it doesn't look quite like the, and you can't really see the glow or anything on this. You can see my fingerprints for sure, but you can see there's quite a bit of blue where all the craters are here, so I'm just trying to mimic that. And so I'm just going to add some blue where I see the blue. There's quite a bit more blue in this moon, in this picture, than you would think here. So let's, I'm just going to continue on. Feel free to fast forward to the end, whatever. I just thought you might like a real-time, I haven't done a real-time detailed video in a while, so I thought, why not? I know some people like longer videos, and I personally do. Some people don't, but I don't mind them. I like playing them in the background while I'm like working. I mean, I work in an office, and I can just kind of shut my door and have, you know, some stuff in the background, put my earbuds in, have my tablet and work and listen to stuff in the background at the same time. So I'm not pressing really hard here because I don't want to lose any of that tooth. I don't want to have too many layers right now because, or I don't mean too many layers, but I don't want to press down too hard right now or I won't be able to layer as much if I get rid of that tooth. Okay, so the moon is very, very bright. So I'm going to go back with my, that's my white, I'm going to go back with my silver. You know, it's really white, not silver, but I don't think you can really tell much of a difference here. So lightly going around again with the silver to lighten everything up. There's a lot of, not a lot of dust, but I can see some dust being created here just because, you know, it's kind of like I said, you're coloring on sandpaper in a way, or it seems like. So you're going to kick up some dust here. And you go through the colored pencils a lot faster. I mean, it's eating it up. But, I mean, I don't know how else that this is going to show up very well without it having some texture to the paper. I mean, it needs something to grip on. I swatched these out on white paper as well, and I didn't find them to be very intense at all. Not very, I don't think they work as well on white paper. I mean, you definitely don't even see the metallic part of it, or whatever you want to, however you put it. It just doesn't show off the metallic properties. I think I'm going to have to bring some white in just so that moon stands out and it's bright. I just don't want to smooth the paper too much where I can't add that white over top. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So now I'm going to lighten those craters because while they are bluish and kind of darker, they're not super, super dark. Not putting a lot of detail in them, just kind of just shading it. There's like a little dark crater right here, a little indent right around, approximately there, not quite there, but trying not to push too hard on this yet because I think I want to put some white in here and I don't want to overdo the silver yet. And then little lighter areas in between all of the craters. If we wanted this to be a technical, detailed kind of drawing, this would take forever, so I'm not going to do that to you guys. It's already long enough. Okay, so let me go back with the blue again. Get that. This is my lighter blue. Lightly lightly going over top of that silver with this, and then a little more pressure here where the more deep craters are before I go in with the white. And I think there may be just a little too much black in between. The sky and the moon. So I'm going to kind of narrow that gap a little bit with this blue. And up here, wait, now I've got my white. I'm not ready for that yet. Or am I? A little more silver. The powder is getting on my fingers, so now I've got some blue fingernails. And of course, being left-handed, there you are with the, as you left-handers know, any of you out there, you get a lot of smearing on your fingers. At least on your pinky, and the side of your hand. Alright, I'm going to come in with this white. I don't know how well this is going to show up because I think I have used quite a bit. Let's see how this shows up here. Yes. That's brighter than the silver for sure. Got a lot of white here on this left edge. Let's brighten that up. Maybe skip a spot. Well, maybe a little bit not as bright here, but just add it lightly underneath here and then brighten it some more, just varying it ever so slightly. Varying these strokes. Now I'm like just using strokes in the pattern or this, like the shape of the moon here, kind of in a circular stroke here. Whiten it up. And it's more white around here in this area. So just varying my pressure as I'm going around and adding this white. This is not, since I have this blue down, it's not pure white, it's showing very light blue actually. Let's come in here and lighten up some areas in here. Sort of random, not quite random. I'm kind of just roughly in the vicinity of where I'm seeing these craters here, just going around where the craters are, approximately with the white to make those dark areas stand out. Looks like that needs to come out a little bit more. It's not quite perfectly round there. There we go. And let's add some white more around here to let that little round crater there show up better. We just have to kind of take our time, not rush it. Now I'm just putting some white around here, but with a lighter pressure so that I can leave some of this darkness. There's a little bit more pressure on the edge. And right here. And still quite a bit of white area around here. I think I need to sharpen my pencil. Here we go. Just add some more white here and there. I want this not super detailed, but I want it kind of detailed because there's not a lot going on here. I mean, there's a lot of color, a lot of variation, a lot of smoothness, but I mean, the moon is the focus, so I want to get focus on this and put more detail somewhat on the focal point here. And I think this is as white as it's going to get. So if I wanted it to be even brighter, I'm gonna have to bring in something else, like maybe a pastel or something, a white pastel pencil, but I don't know that we need that right now. I don't know that I want to do that at the moment. So looks like there's a bit of white around here. Just going in circular motions, and then you put some more white here. Let's just not make that perfectly straight and smooth. We want some jagged edges. What's it looking like, guys? It's looking good. Let's go back here, and now I'm going to put a little more pressure. Kind of leave this little dark spots right there. And some white right in there. Now I'm just fiddling around and being fussy with it. Let's get some more of that blue. Put inside here. I don't know, is this my darker blue? No. Where's my white? There it is. I think we could use some more white here. I mean, brighter white areas, but this is as white as I can get it, I think. At least with this technique and this pencil. Wonder if I sharpen it. And then oh, now I'm breaking it. And actually, these are still more blue. I'm kind of thinking I need to go over this. Let's do the silver. And lighten that up a little bit. It's very lightly coloring that in a little bit lighter. I keep wanting to say I'm done, guys, so that I can let you guys go, and then I just keep fiddling with it. I think I will let you guys go. I think you get the idea here. I think it needs some more. Here, I keep telling you I'm going to let you guys go, and then I keep fiddling. Maybe I'll fiddle with it off camera. The craters look too deep. I think we've got too much dark. And I'm trying to get too much detail in here that I can't quite get with this, with these. At least not at this stage, not at this point now. Okay, so I think it's been long enough, and you get the idea. It looks, like I said, a little different in person, but a little more smooth, and a little less streaky, but it still, nonetheless, doesn't look too bad on camera. And that is it, and I hope you liked this demonstration. I hoped you like these pencils and that you could use some of these ideas if you have some of these metallic colored pencils. And I appreciate you guys watching, and sorry about the lighting and the long video, but hopefully you liked it. So if you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Share it, and I appreciate you again, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye bye.